Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. A few months ago I recorded a long interview with Mark Crossley. He told some brilliant Brian Clough stories. There were some fantastic impressions as well. Here are some of the best bits.
Luckily for me, we're playing Liverpool at home Tuesday night, October 26, 1988. I was 19 years old. I'd gone through first year professional, signed a second year professional, which I think went to 120 quid a week. And luckily I got my break. And again, we always say in football, a lot of the time it's been in the right place at the right time. Sutty had gone down with a virus during the day. Anne Seegers was on loan. Paul Crichton and Darren Renays were both injured. We didn't have any time to get anybody else on loan. So I had to play against Liverpool. And that's how my debut came about. Clough rang my old man, said, Mr. Crossley, get down to the game tonight. Mark's playing, but don't tell him because he'll shit himself. Am I allowed to say that?
You go for it, yeah. No problem.
So I didn't know. So at half-5, as a pro and apprentice or whatever you got to do, you walk round to the ground, you're getting ready, Liverpool are going to come, you're looking forward to seeing the Liverpool players walking in, and you're cleaning boots and you're helping out, and all the apprentices are digging in and cleaning corridors. And that's when Clough shouted at me. I was in the boot room at 7 o'clock at 7:45 kickoff, I think it was. And he used to call me shithouse all the time. And he shouted, "Shithouse!" And I thought, well, he calls me that, I better see what he wants. So I popped my head around the corner. "Get your boots on, son. And it would help if you put your gloves on as well. You're playing." I went, "What?" He went, "You're playing, son." So I thought he was winding me up, like, you know. But as it happened, walked into the dressing room and Piercy said to me, "Just play the game like you think you're playing with your mates in the park, and me and Desi and Chet's will look after you." And that's how my debut came about. And we beat Liverpool on the night 2-1. I got the match ball after the game and got it signed by all the players. And Clough said to me, "You need to go and knock on Liverpool's door and ask them if they'll sign it as well." And I didn't really want to do that because we'd just beat them, and I thought it were a bit of lack of respect. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to walk down the corridor. And when I get halfway down, I'm going to come back and just say that Kenny Dalglish and his team refused to do it. But as I turned around, he was stood there, wasn't he? Rugby shirt, green sweater, you know.
To make sure.
Knock on the door, shithouse, he said. Knock on the door. And to be fair to Kenny Dalglish, like he knew why I was there, and he got all the players to sign the ball. And the ball, I've got the ball, it's treasured, obviously. I think Clough kind of like notices little things, little chinks in the armour where you're getting a little bit too big for your boots. And after that game, I was going home, parents and that, and I said after the game, I said, "See you to the rest of the lads, have a good weekend." "Where you all going, shithouse?" he said. I said, "I'm going home." "Where's home?" I said, "I live in Barnsley." "My house tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, bring your boots. And it would help if you bring your gloves as well, son." So, like, I didn't know where he lived. So I had to, Chaz, the groundsman, I had to ask him if he'd take me to his house on the Sunday morning. I don't know why I'm going. Drops me off at his house at 8:30. Walk up the drive at 5 to 9. Barbara answers the door. "Hello, Mark, how you doing? I'm Barbara, Brian's wife. Well done yesterday. Lovely to meet you. Glad it's going really well for you, and come in and make you a cup of tea and a slice of toast." And sat in the kitchen. Still ain't got a clue why I'm there. She said, "Brian's upstairs. He'll be down in a couple of minutes." Anyway, he comes in. He said, "I won't call you shithouse, son, because Barbara's here," he said. "But I'd like to say thank you." So I said, "What for?" Now, Simon at that time, Simon Clough, Nigel's brother, who's now chief scout with Nigel, wherever he works, was the manager of a team called AC Hunters in Division 5 of the Derbyshire Sunday League. And they didn't have a goalkeeper. So he said, "Thank you, son, for agreeing to play for Simon's team this morning. They haven't got a goalkeeper, and I thought you'd do." So I'm thinking I've just played against Liverpool, Newcastle and Coventry. And the next day I'm playing for AC Hunters in Division 5 of the Derby Sunday League. Cut a long story short, I'm playing in that game. The standard is horrendous. The pitch has got dog shit and broken glass all over it. Archie Gemmell, who was obviously a friend of the family and a youth team coach at Forest, he's the linesman, right?
Right.
So I can't get my head around that. Archie's running up and down the line. I'm playing in goal. What's happening? Cut a long story short, we won that game quite comfortably. And AC Hunters got fined 50 quid for playing a ringer and got the points took off them. So I was the ringer. But Clough took the £50 out of my wages at Forest to pay the fine. So I had to pay the fine for playing. And that's
in a game you didn't want to.
It's just like, when I look back now and go, at the time I thought, what's this idiot doing to me? You know, but when I look back now, I go, how class is that?
When did you feel kind of first choice, regular, feet under the table kind of goalkeeper for him?
When I came back from Manchester United and he put me back in the team, I knew it was a matter of time before I became, because I signed a new contract when I come back from Manchester United as well.
Right.
A 4-year contract, which was a blank contract, by the way. He made me sign a blank contract. But when you've played in the first team, that's when contract. This is how loyal he was. He just ripped the contract up. We're going to give you a new one. Would you like a new one? Of course, I'd like a new one. Yeah. And I remember being in his office and he put the contract on the table, and he said, "Sign that, son." And I said, "I can't sign it, Gaffer." He said, "Why?" I said, "It's blank. There's nothing on it." You know, and there's no agents then, or no, I couldn't ring an agent and say, it was, sign it. He actually said to me, "Sign it or piss off and play for Barnsley."
Right.
And Barnsley were in the 3rd division at the time, although it's my hometown club, and I wanted to be at Nottingham Forest playing for Brian Clough. He said, "I'll tell you what, son." He says, "You've got 5 minutes. Out the office," he said. So I walks out of his office and I'm stood in the corridor and he's shouting, "4 minutes, 4 minutes. You've got 3 minutes, son." So you end up walking back in and I signed the blank contract.
Did it turn out
Pardon?
to be better than the previous one, given that you'd signed a blank one? It could have been a worse contract that you'd been on.
It could have been, but I think it was a case of like back then that it was about playing football, maybe not about earning so much money. Yeah. Not totally opposite today, but no, he looked after us. Like, so I signed the contract. He said, "Thank you for agreeing for working with me for the next 4 years." So straight away that triggers, oh, I'm going to get a 4-year contract here. I go home that night, the phone rings, "Pick your contract up tomorrow, son, it's filled in." So he's actually filled it in, you know. So, and then I go back the next morning, I pick my contract up from the secretary. He knew I wanted a car. I'd been asking him for ages if I could get a car, but he used to say, "No, you're not having a car. You're an idiot." He says, "I can't trust you. I'll tell you when you can have a car." And it's like, it's mad. It's madness, like. And I'd like been travelling on buses and trains and all that. And, you know, I'm 19 years old. I've passed my test. Come on, you know.
So it was almost like a father figure in that sense. You'll learn to drive, or you can drive when I say you can drive, type thing.
You can drive. You can go on the roads when I say you can. I look after you. You're my player. Yeah. Anyway, he put some car keys in the thingy, and I'm led to believe that Elizabeth didn't like the car that she'd got, his daughter, and I ended up with Elizabeth's car. But he even made me pay for that out of my wages as well, which I hadn't. So I've got some car keys in the envelope, and I've got a 4-year contract, and he's given me a 4-year contract, £500 a week, and then a 3% rise each year for the next 4 years. A car, 25 grand signing on fee, and that's your 4-year deal. That's it, until you hear any different. And that's when I knew that I was going to become his number one.
Right.
And the following season, from then on, I was ever present under him for the next few years, unless you take away when I was a bit of a naughty boy and he left me out of the cup final for being a bit stupid when, you know, out on the town. I'm so grateful that I had like that how it happened. You still sometimes like have to pinch yourself and go, did that really happen? And it did. And to have worked for a great manager like Brian Clough, and have worked with Alex Ferguson, I do think, like, how did that ever happen? You know, how did it ever happen? But, you know, things happen for a reason, and I'm grateful for it. I'm a massive Nottingham Forest fan because of what they changed my life. Not just the manager, but the supporters, the people in the city changed my life for the better. So how can you not be grateful for that? That's why I love to go back and visit and watch and cheer them on.
My thanks to Mark Crossley. Some fantastic stories from his time at Forest about Brian Clough. Hope you enjoyed the impressions as well. If you want to support the channel, if you click the dollar button below, that will help support the channel and help me do more videos going forward. If you want to watch the whole interview with Mark Crossley, that is right here. Or if you want different Brian Clough stories, Brian Laws is here. Thanks for watching.